In this video, we are going to talk about gentle exercises to help a baby roll or crawl on their hands and knees. Spoiler alert, this exercise in this position, babies have to tolerate in order to do both milestones. So if your little is 4 to 6 months and working on rolling, or they're a little bit older and then 9 to 11 months and working on crawling, this video is for you. You want to make sure that your baby can tolerate this position. And huge bonus, it's super easy for parents to do. You can seamlessly fit this into your day. Hi, I'm Dr. Lauren Baker, a pediatric physical therapist, and on this channel, we help proactive parents learn tips and tricks to help their littles move better. Think of me as your pediatric physical therapy bestie, here to help you learn how to help your babies move with confidence and ease. This exercise is one that is super easy, but if this position is a struggle for your little, this can be a super easy exercise to help ease into that position. The exercise is called a bench hold. It is basically making sure that the baby can curve their back so that when they go to roll, specifically from back to belly, they're able to fluidly move from their back to their side onto their belly. And in order to do so, they need to be able to contract their core and round that trunk out. And they also need to be able to tuck that pelvis in order to rotate it. How this fits into crawling is that in order to get on all fours, on hands and knees, the baby needs to also have that tilted bum, that rounded back. And being in all fours is so hard. It takes so much strength for a little to push through their shoulders, lift their head as gravity's trying to smash them to the ground, that if they struggle with tolerating holding that curved position in their body or having their knees come up higher than their hips, that tolerance is going to limit them from being able to activate the strength that they do have. Oftentimes, parents aren't told about the mobility implications that can hold or block their children from reaching these milestones. And while it's not always the super fancy exercise, if your little is struggling with mobility, it can be a huge block from them being able to activate the strength that they have, as well as move on to those harder things. Maybe your little is rolling well belly to back, but not back to belly. And then when they go to try to get into hands and knees, that tilt of that pelvis is a position that they don't love to be in. They don't love to tolerate. Maybe they skipped grabbing their feet with their hands. When you go to move on to those harder skills, that level up of crawling, this could be a missing piece for that. If your little is struggling with rolling or crawling, make sure you check the description below, because there's going to be a downloadable free checklist so that you can go through the building blocks of rolling, check them off, make sure that your little has everything they need to master rolling, both belly to back and back to belly. If your baby is struggling with rolling, I want to make sure that you know about my book, Tummy Time and Learning to Roll. It's specifically for parents of children who are 0 to 6 months, or for children who are struggling with rolling, either back to belly or belly to back. It goes through all of the biomechanical reasons or struggles that a child could have. It breaks it down by body part, and it also includes 240 color photos of all of the exercises that I recommend parents do for children to help master rolling. It's my entire brain in paper form, and it's linked up here as well as in the pinned comment and the description. And also, if your little is working on crawling, we've got a checklist for you so that you can make sure that they have mastered all the things that they need working up towards getting onto their hands and knees. Crawling is super important. So while not everyone sees crawling as a must-have milestone, hint CDC, we want to make sure that parents understand that it is hugely impactful for those pre-academic skills. Specifically, when you push through your hands into the ground provides a force through the muscles on the inside of your hand, and that is how you strengthen the inner hand muscles, which you need to be able to write well when you're older and in school. Additionally, it's one of the best ways for you to strengthen your inner hand muscles, your wrist muscles, your elbow muscles, your shoulder muscles, and your upper trunk muscles. And in order for us to have precision motions with our fingers so that we can actually create those letters when we're writing, we have to be able to stabilize this upper half of our body from our chest area, our shoulder area, our elbow area, and our wrist area. A lot of occupational therapists who work in the schools who specialize in teaching children how to master handwriting will note that there's a correlation between kids who skipped crawling and those who struggle with handwriting. So on top of everything, we just want to give our babies the best opportunities to not have to have those struggles if we can avoid them. There are other reasons why crawling is super important, like how it uses both halves of your body at the same time. So you have to move your left arm with your right leg. That uses the right half of your brain to move your left arm and the left half of your brain to move your right leg. Those pathways have to cross in the middle of your brain and the corpus callosum, which allows for increasing both halves of your body at the same time and helping you prime those pathways. The babies who don't have the opportunities to crawl do really miss out on the pathway development that their same age crawling peers are able to have the opportunity to develop. Additionally, it helps you isolate your head from the rest of your body when you're copying down on a piece of paper from the board. You need to be able to lift your head up and down and move your eyeballs in isolation from the rest of your body and from your head so that you don't lose where you are on the paper and that you can do that efficiently. When you're on all fours, because your hands are on the ground and you're moving your head to look in all directions, you are training the body to isolate the head motion from the rest of the body. So that's one of another million different reasons why we're so passionate as therapists about the importance of hands and knees crawling specifically. This is called the bench sit exercise. So you're going to have one hand underneath your baby's bottom and it is going to curve up his spine into a little bit of a C shape, and the other hand is going to be around his chest. You can see here that the knees are higher than the hips, but that the baby's legs are situated on my forearm. I'm holding the baby close to my body so he feels nice and secure, and his arms are over my hands so that he's free to use them and move them however he wants to. You can see here that the pelvis is tilted, and so it's in more of a rounded space. This is just another variation of the same bench hold position. So my forearms are underneath his thighs, rounding his pelvis, and he's in like a position like he would be sitting in a chair if he was old enough. His head is supported by my trunk, and we're just chilling out, hanging out. This is just another variation. You can hold your baby sitting on the floor. You can hold them while you're walking around. You can really curve their spine into a C shape, or you could keep it a little bit more upright based on their tolerance. This is another option if the upright hold position is too much, or if your baby is not yet have head control. So this baby is 3 to 4 months, and basically here they're resting on your legs and you're just tilting their pelvis up so their pelvis is a little bit rounded, their back is rounded, and their feet are on your chest or on your body. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and taking time out of your busy schedule as a parent or a therapist to help infants roll and crawl better. We want to make sure that our littles are given every opportunity to move well and confidently so they can explore their environment and their cozy homes filled with love. I'm thrilled that you took the time to watch this video all the way to the end. If you have questions, make sure you drop them into the comments below. And if you would like more in-depth information, the opportunity to ask questions, make sure you check the pinned comment because that is going to be an option for you to schedule an online parent consultation with me, where we can go through all of your questions on rolling or crawling, make sure that you feel confident in the next steps that will help your baby move well, and give you some ideas of things you can start right now. If you are curious about mobility and making sure that your little has all the flexibility that they need to master rolling or crawling, because these two milestones are really interconnected, make sure you check out this video next. It is going to help you rule out, make sure the baby can move the top half of their body to the left and to the right equally, and make sure that they have everything that they need from a flexibility standpoint so that they can master rolling and or crawling.